What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rgtp. I am your host, Lewis, and with
Yee.
me, as always, the fabulous, the
Oh, thank
fantastic,
you. But hey,
Mr.
let's be
Mamba.
careful with that. We might get hit with a trademark using fabulous like that. All right.
Hey, you
What's
never
going
know.
on, Lou? How you doing, bro?
We doing good. Just came back, ate some Outback. Gonna plug in Outback Fire. It was
Yeah, not a
nice
man.
little,
Not a man.
nice little lunch. And now we here. As you saw, I'm doing a little bit of drinking, some
Yep.
sipping. And we're here to talk all the wild shit that's going on in the NFL offseason. The tampering period is
My
over.
favorite time of the year. Free
So people
agency.
are officially signing deals. Trades are officially being done. And of course, the TikTok. The time is coming for NBA basketball to shortly tip off. And holy shit, some of the teams that are placed in some of the places and the seedings that they are right now,
Yeah.
wow. Some
Yeah.
things to
I
talk
think the
about.
Clippers would have to play the Suns last time I looked.
Uh,
Yikes.
uh,
Yikes.
no.
No, it
Clippers
changed.
would play. Yes, Clippers. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh, that's
Where are we
still
going?
a yikes of a team to play against.
But of course, let's get into it. NBA to start. We have playoff basketball looming in the background. Of course, leading the way are the two conference champions at the moment. The Bucks have taken over the Boston Celtics after the
The
Celtics took a
Bucks
nice.
have just taken over in general.
The Celtics dropped down to the 2 seed after holding the number 1 seed for the majority of the season. We fell into a bit of a slump, and now the Bucks have leapfrogged
He
us.
got hit with a little bit of an injury bug as well.
We got injured. We start picking up injuries. Milton comes back. The team's starting to click over there in Milwaukee. And then, of course, Nikola Jokic, the 2-time defending and reigning MVP, making a push for number 3.
Yeah. And
Currently leading the way in Denver. Are we surprised that any of these two teams are at the top? Maybe Denver. Bucks, not so much.
no.
Denver,
I don't
okay.
think we should be surprised about. I forget where we had them in our preseason rankings, but I know it had to have been at least top 4, right? Because they've been a good regular season team for
Right.
so many years now. And I mean, when you're stat padding like that, probably cover the logo, but they're a good team. Jokic, very efficient. I know the stat padding is now being called into question, but when you're trying to get a triple double, when you average a triple double, stat padding is going to come with it. And it's not like he is intentional. I mean, I saw one play yesterday where it was like you're kind of forcing the ball to him to get, but he is their main guy, and we know the offenses ran through him.
You're right.
Caldwell Pope didn't feel like he had the shot. He gave it back to the main player on the Nuggets.
Yeah, just a quick note on stat padding, and nobody gave a fuck when Luka's dropping 30-point triple doubles. Now the Jokic is getting all the attention. That's where I think it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
When Russell averaged his triple double, I do remember look at him go for those boards. Like, he is just stat padding and stuff, but it wasn't. There's been a lot more thrown into his stat padding as well. So,
yep. Nah,
it's
I ain't.
People gonna be people.
I ain't buying it.
He a beast. He don't get it. It don't matter. He wants a championship. He don't care about the MVP.
True.
He does.
Let's break down some of the Eastern Conference currently in the playoffs. Of course, the Bucks, number 1. Celtics coming in at number 2. The 76ers, through all the turmoil that they've gone through over the years, trading players, getting players, building all these different teams around Embiid. This is probably now slowly becoming one of his better teams, of course. And at the 3 seed, we see the Cleveland Cavaliers taking.
Hold on, you bringing that up? We gonna pause right there. This 76ers team or the 76ers team with Jimmy?
Oh, I'm definitely taking the Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick team, probably. But James Harden, Tyrese Maxey coming along. You know what I mean?
If they can keep that Jimmy team and they still flip Ben for James somehow.
Oh yeah. Different story. Different story. Of course, Cleveland makes the splash to land Donovan Mitchell. They are currently home court advantage at the 4 seed. And of course, the New York Knicks on the way back up 5th seed. It's just random. It's just random. You know what I mean? They're here. And then, of course, the Brooklyn Nets.
Lows of lows.
The Brooklyn Nets
Nice.
in at our number 6 seed. They were the 4th seed, obviously, when the implosion happened. They had to make some trades and make some moves, but they're still firmly in the playoffs, just missing out on the play-in. But Mamba, I gotta ask you, of the 6 teams that we currently have in the East that have their tickets punched to the playoffs at the moment, who's at risk of potentially dropping down into play-in territory? Because it is actually
It's a
kind
cop out, but it's the right cop out. It's probably the Nets. They've
the
had
net.
Mikal Bridges has proved to us that he got it like that. He can
Yep.
score when he needs to, when the offense is flowing. But we've also seen games against the Chicago Bulls where it's like 70-20 and if you're going to have games where you're just getting absolutely stomped, teams, it's not going to happen every game, but teams are going to go back to this and be like, how were they able to pick the Nets apart so badly when we've seen the Nets be able to compete against the Heat, compete against the Knicks, compete even without Durant. We've seen them compete, but they got smoked in a couple occasions. So it's like, can they keep it together? Did they have enough of a cushion to where they'll lose games, but they won enough to where they keep the 6th seed?
Right.
They are probably the ones in risk, though. Every other team at 1 through 5, I feel like has gone on a certain amount of win streak, and it's been mentioned. The Knicks have done it a couple times. The Bucks have went on just like a 16, I think, before the Sixers beat them. Celtics, I don't know what their win streak is this year. I don't know what the Sixers win streak is. But those teams, they're good enough where they can string together wins when they need to. And the Cavs as well.
Yep. I hear it. I hear it. I do. I got to go on the flip side of the, of the Brooklyn Bridge, so to speak. I'm thinking I got to pick the Knicks.
That's
some health concerns. You never know what version of Julius Randle you're going to get.
Hey.
Brunson has been
good.
in and out.
He's real good.
All-star, pretty much. We've seen him play at an all-star level. Mitchell Robinson has had turmoil continuously.
How do you feel about
now
that?
he just wants to be. Hey, he just wants the ball. He just wants the ball.
I get that.
He wants to hoop.
It's like with Zubac. They're the big center who can get the board, put it back up. Why are you not just feeding him? Kind of like Rudy as well. We've seen, it's like, why do you not just give?
He just wants to play more and he wants to hoop more. I don't see the issue. But they would be the team that I would pick as potential drop off just because it's inconsistent. We've seen it last year. They missed the playoffs last year. They couldn't even it's just very inconsistent. We're gonna have to see what kind of team they're gonna be to close out the next month or so of the season. And then what version of if we get RJ and Jalen Brunson and then Julius Randle all clicking on the right side. We've seen it throughout the whole season. They're averaging about 60-plus points as a trio.
When Brunson and Randle are clicking, it's good. It's all about RJ stepping up for him, man.
It is a good team, and it's going to be a scary out in round number 1. Most likely, it's all about them getting clicking.
Cavs versus Knicks, if it was today.
I'm picking
a tough
the Cavs.
Game for the Knicks. Yeah, that's a tough game.
A little more firepower. But, of course, let's keep on moving down because we got the teams in the play-in. The disappointing Miami Heat. The Hawks, of course. The
Hawks.
Raptors.
New coach, Quinn Snyder.
Is that the Wizards?
Yeah.
Are the Wizards in the play-in? I get the Wizards?
Yeah.
But then, of course, closely lurking behind, tied with the Wizards win percentage-wise. The Chicago Bulls still alive, and the Pacers only 1 game back.
You can go ahead and count them out.
Pacers ain't making it. Pacers ain't making it. Within 1 game, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it up there. But Mamba, of the bottom half 6 teams that we see here, who is the dark horse team that you could see making a run, maybe a first-round upset on one of our top-heavy juggernauts?
I have 2, and I think it's going to be the 2 that make the playoffs because I've lost complete faith in these other 2 teams, the Raptors and the Wizards.
Really?
Yeah. The Raptors have the defense.
Yep.
Where if they're clicking, it's hard to score against them, right?
Yep.
And then the Wizards, when they're clicking, it's kind of hard to stop them offensively. Kuzma can drop. We've seen Kuzma, Kristaps, and Bradley Beal multiple times already.
Yep.
Numerous games of them, but all 3 scoring 20 plus. We know that the scoring isn't their problem. when you need to come together and stop a man, that's where it gets a little iffy. Because, ain't no real stoppers on this team. But they might have enough offense to get them through a couple games where it's like, we probably should have beat them. But, shit happens in the playoffs. Teams usually get at least one. The 8 seed usually gets at least one game,
Yep.
And, like, Toronto, they have the defense, and the offense is there. It's just who? Who is your main guy? Is it Pascal? We've seen him score 24, multiple, average 24, Scotty Barnes, pretty similar. Likes that mid-range, can slash, can handle the ball a little bit. Fred VanVleet, ball handler, can drop 20 to 30 points, can pass for 9 to 15 assists when he needs to. A little undersized, maybe he gets cut off. And then OG.
Right.
I've been wanting OG to get traded. I think I have him on my fantasy team, so I don't hate OG. I like OG. Right. I want him to get the minutes because the amount of 4 steal games this man has had this year alone, his defense is crazy. His offense is a little inconsistent, but I trust him to hit the 3. I trust him a little bit. It's just who will be the guy to step up for each team.
Right. Hey,
we know with the Heat, Jimmy Butler. We know with the Hawks,
the team I'm picking.
Yeah. We know who their guy is, and we know their guy can get it done. Who is the guy for the Raptors and the Wizards? You hope it's Pascal. You hope it's Bradley Beal, but it might not be.
Right. No, I like those two options. But like I said, I got to pick Miami if I had to pick one of these 6 teams.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
I feel like
they
definitely
him to Dallas.
Yeah, they needed. Oh no.
Yeah. Jimmy, get him to Dallas with Kyrie and Luka, man. Get him out of there.
Jimmy and Bam will stay there. They will look at Tyler Hero and they will tell him, "Hey, you're now the point guard."
Oh, okay.
And you get the fuck out. You get rid of everything else that you got to deal with. I think that's going to be the mission this offseason. I think you have Jimmy as the cornerstone veteran foundation. You have 2 young pillars on literally opposite sides of him, an absolute bucket in Tyler Hero and an absolute defensive switchability, well-rounded player in Bam. I think those 3, just build around that and get rid of fucking Kyle Lowry. You didn't need that. Duncan Robinson was a wasted contract. Get some size up front to help and retool this team. But Jimmy's just such a dog. Yeah. It's just tough any playoff series to try to count him out. We've seen him in the bubble. He willed that team into the finals. Willed that 40-point triple-double.
One game.
One game. 40-point triple-double. Yeah. He tried.
Close games, though. There was never really a game where we were counting the Heat out, from what I remember. That's what, but.
And they're tough. If they matches up right now, they're the 7th seed taking on Boston. Am I feeling? I think we win, but it's going to be probably a 6-game series. It's going to be a 6-game series, maybe a 7-game series, depending on how our health goes. It's really going to come down to all of that. If they move, whether they move up or if we move down, they play the 76ers. That is going to have a lot on the lines. And Jimmy animosity going in there, that's going to be a tough out.
I'm going to Google this real quick because low-key, I feel like they don't have their pick. But if they could just,
I don't know,
miss the playoffs this year and Jimmy is content and they just get somehow blessed by the gods and they're able to get Victor right next to Bam, that'd be pretty nice.
So Miami would be my tough out team.
Oh, for sure. No. It's simply because of Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy's a dog. I agree with you. Spo is an excellent
coach. Great coach.
Pieces like it's right there. It is really right there. Just really disappointing. And of course, jumping on over to the West side, the Western Conference leader, as previously mentioned, the Denver Nuggets, led by Nikola Jokic. Very nice to see.
They do have their pick this year.
Okay, so they got him. Nice. Okay.
They got a chance. They got a chance.
And then, of course, the Fighting Hard, still trying to stay alive, Memphis Grizzlies are the number 2 seed, despite all the Ja Morant
8-game suspension. I saw.
Yeah, despite everything that's going on, this team is still winning games without him.
Yeah.
They're not. They're still the number 2 seed.
It's a good team. It is
It
a
is a good
well
team.
put together team.
It's a good team. Of course. We all knew the best team in California was gonna be the Sacramento Kings, the number 3 seed. Who would have thought when the basketball season tipped off, they would be the best
The Sacramento
team
fans
in
who went to the summer league game.
California?
Yeah.
Light the beam.
That's
Absolutely
probably the
amazing.
best story of
Absolutely
this year.
amazing.
I don't care if they get demolished in the first round for some reason. I don't
Right.
care. I'm just so happy that the Kings are good.
Right.
And
I think this is like a decade coming
dude,
for us.
we've never seen
like
the Kings good.
yes,
We've
like
never seen
for
the Kings
us
good.
right now, this
I've
is
never seen the Kings
history in the making. Of course,
Yeah.
the number 4 seed, the newly I don't want to say rebuilt, but it's
not.
it's
Retooled.
looking sort of
Yeah, okay, no.
retooled Phoenix.
Kevin Durant infused. You would just say that.
Phoenix Suns in at number 4. Number 5, the reigning NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors. And of course,
Suns
number
don't want to
6,
see them in the first round.
your Los Angeles Clippers. So, but just like the previous Eastern Conference, if you had to pick one of these 6 teams to possibly drop down to play-in territory, who would it be and why?
I'd honestly pick my team because I'm a pessimistic asshole who thinks his team's always going to do terrible because they usually do. I don't know who I would pick in this for the team to slip because the Suns, they did lose Kevin Durant, but they're still good. They have Chris Paul. They have Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton is cool. Torrey Craig has stepped up at times. The Warriors just got Curry back, and they've been balling out. So I will pick my Clippers just because I don't believe they can do it and hope they prove me wrong.
I want to agree with you, and I just about would, but I don't want to agree with you. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I hear it. You got
the Warriors.
Suns. Oh, okay. That's
the
good.
Warriors.
Respectable.
Tragic on the road. Trying, they try to move away from Wiseman, obviously, and now we're seeing
7-26.
He's terrible on the road. They moved off of James Wiseman, which definitely was something that they could have used, as we've seen. Now he's turning up in Detroit, playing good, which netted them Sadiq Bey that ended up in Atlanta, and I'm sure they would have liked to have him because Andrew Wiggins is now reportedly out for the remainder of the season, dealing with
Gary Payton's hurt.
Whatever he's dealing with. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't look like you did much in the trade to sort of get things going in the next direction for you guys. You're terrible on the road. Curry's missed some time. Watching the games, there's still disconnect between Draymond and Jordan Poole and Draymond with a lot of the team now. I fear, if I was a Warriors fan, that this is sort of the beginning of the end.
Probably. I feel like Warriors fans probably knew in the beginning of the season because wasn't he asking for a max contract extension? And I'm sorry, Draymond, you're great.
And then Poole ended up getting the money.
You are undoubtedly one of the best pieces to one of the greatest franchises in NBA history. Without you, they maybe don't get there.
He's Rodman. You can't tell the Bulls story without Rodman, and you can't tell the Warriors story without Draymond. He is the glue.
Go get your money from a different team because you're not getting it from the Warriors probably.
Right.
Unless you're willing to take a pay cut. We know him and LeBron have been, the off seasons, they have been very close.
A lot of eyeballs. Yeah. A lot of eyeballs.
You put Draymond in the middle of LeBron and Anthony Davis. That sounds pretty nice.
D'Angelo Russell says he wants to come back as the point guard.
The defense would be good.
Vanderbilt sticking around. I mean, if you keep some of the pieces that you keep,
get the money from for the Lakers for him. But
Draymond
probably is new team. If he wants to continue, because he's also been getting into media as well. So if he wants to go into media, he can retire a Warrior.
He's on,
TNT. Draymond has options. If he wants to continue playing, he will continue playing. If he wants to do it on a pay cut because he wants to stay with the Warriors, he'll do it. He wants to get one more guaranteed payday, which when he got 4 rings already, maybe can add one more. go somewhere else and be like, huh, I was actually the reason why we got those rings. If he ends up with one with another team, it'd be kind of cool to see him on another team. But
I
I
think
feel you
it
with the
happens.
Warriors. I can feel that.
The road record is so bad. Finish out the season, and then if you're basically guaranteed to lose at least two of the three, and if you're not, I mean, you're the fifth seed, which means 4 of those games are going to be on the road. You're going to be guaranteed to drop 2, maybe 3 of those. Like,
right.
How well are you going to be able to play? It's very, very crucial for them to probably get home court, and it's not looking that way. Not looking that way.
They're going on a 5-game road.
Oh,
road trip. Right
yeah,
now.
they could very
it
much.
literally starts today.
They could very much drop down by the end of that 5-day road trip. 5-game road trip.
6, 7. They got 8 of their last however many games. They only have 1, 2, 3, 4. They only got 5 at home.
Yeah, there's only about 13 or 15 games left for most teams.
So
yeah, we're
8 on the road, 5 home.
It's gonna be tough.
They hope they can get a couple of those road wins.
And of course, from the playoff teams to the play-in teams, we have 6 teams still fighting to stay alive.
Poor Trailblazers.
Yeah.
They were
Minnesota Timberwolves, number 7 seed.
Nice. Yes.
They're not a bad team. They're not health has been if they could have had Nurkic and Simons healthy throughout the whole definitely a different season for them. But currently our number 7 seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves, looking to make it back to the playoffs yet again since losing Jimmy Butler.
With no
the
cat.
8th seed Oklahoma City without Chet.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Nah. OKC be playing, man. They be playing.
Number 9th seed, the Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving led Dallas Mavericks at number 9. What
they've been missing a couple games.
Yes, of course. The 10th seed,
I think
barely
they're missing tonight as well.
Probably. It's
that's tough.
It's beautiful on paper. Beautiful on paper, and the highlights are beautiful. It just has been working. We're going to get to that just a little bit. Of course, the 10th seed, the Los Angeles Lakers in at number 10, and 2 teams holding on for dear life. Of course, we have the Utah Jazz, who are a team that I picked to be in the play-in. Getting there.
I thought they were going to be worse.
I try to tell you.
I thought they were but
getting there.
They're where they need to be now.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
They're chilling. And then, of course, hanging on despite the without Zion, the Pelicans sit at the 12th seed again. I think it just proves the kind of players that they have, like CJ, Brandon Ingram, Valanciunas, Willie Green as a coach. I think it sort of just tells us without their best player for basically the last 3 years, he's barely played.
Contract.
Yeah, he's barely. It's a risk they're willing to take. We'll definitely have to see. But without their best player for the last, he's there.
When he's there,
you know what I mean? They're a problem. They're a problem. But nonetheless, staying alive. And a similar question like I asked you about the Eastern Conference. If you had to pick one of these 6 teams on our bottom half here, who would you pick to be a surprise, to maybe upset in the first round, maybe make a run?
Is it really a surprise if it's the Lakers?
Oh, you're picking the Lake Show.
They've been playing so well since LeBron's went down. I really don't want to, but like that team, they are clicking. I did like the pieces that they got at the trade deadline.
Yes.
But the team that I want to pick, that I really, really, really want to pick is OKC. Their bigs are going to hurt them. Their bigs are going to hurt them.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll stick with the Lakers because they have Anthony Davis, who may be able to help against Jokic if you're playing Jokic, or Jaren Jackson, Ja, Anthony Davis in the paint for Ja. Like, depending on what seed they get, you're going to need a big at that 7 or 8 because you're either getting dunked on by Ja or you're getting trashed on by Jokic. So choose your poison. Which one you want to go up against? You want to go up against Ja. You want to go up against Ja. Yeah, give me the Lakers. I know. I'm supposed to hate them, but their team is nice. You add LeBron to that, it should be better.
Okay. I like that. My team which was a bit of a surprise last season, turned some heads early
You're
in
not saying
playoff round number 1.
oh Timberwolves.
The Minnesota
Yeah, they should have beat
Timberwolves.
the Grizzlies last year.
They're very. Cat is out right now, which obviously plays a factor into them only being the 7th seed. He's missed. God, I can't even remember. He's on my fantasy team. It's just been killing me all
It's a
season.
lot. Yeah,
I
it's
have
a
him and
lot.
Zion on fantasy. Same team. Blows.
Duh.
Absolutely.
You want me to send you one of the teams I drafted, dude? I swear to you, everyone's either
Everyone.
IR or out, bro.
Bro,
LeBron, Zion, Cade. Those were like my top
I
3
got rid of
picks.
Cade. Yep.
Yeah,
I had to
you'll
get rid of Cade.
yeah. That team
I
is
feel
so
it.
bad.
But yes, the Minnesota Timberwolves, led by Carl Anthony Towns, who hopefully will be back. He'll add a nice piece to that. Of course, Anthony Edwards is clicking.
Yeah.
Mike Conley, obviously, Kyle Anderson. They just have some of these different pieces. Naz Reid has played big minutes.
Make sure I get the right one. Jaden McDaniels.
Yes.
Nice forward for them. Plays all kinds of defense. Does exactly what you would want for a player to just go everywhere. He's nice. His brother's nice with the Sixers too.
I agree. Jalen, yes, of course. Yes. Very it's a nice team, obviously. I like the pieces. Rudy Gobert's
Kyle Anderson.
Yes, slow-mo, of course. Rudy Gobert is starting to find more of a groove now without Cat. Obviously, we saw when he was also missing times. Naz Reid played a big role.
Dropped 30, career high,
playing a big role. So I'm picking this team as a surprise. Right now, they currently would match up against the Grizzlies. They're down Ja Morant round 1.
Yeah. Even with Ja Morant, this team could push them.
Yeah, I mean, they almost got him last year.
Last year, it was ugly for the Grizzlies.
Exactly.
They barely sneaked by the Timberwolves.
Agreed. That would be the team that I would pick. I think Minnesota could make a sneaky little upset in the first round. Whoever matches up with them, I wouldn't want to see them. To be honest, I would not. Cannot
I don't want to see any of these teams. This year's been it's fantastic,
a nice
bro.
year. It is a nice year. Cannot wait for the playoff basketball to kick off just a few weeks away. Of course, we'll give away our awards like we did for the NFL. We'll give away our predictions for all the first rounds and who's going to win the finals when all that comes into fruition. But of course, let's cover the madness that is going on around the NFL. And Mamba, let's jump straight to the point. The number one thing that we have been talking about for
why the hell hasn't Lamar Jackson been signed?
That is number one thing that we have been talking about since it happened. The Chicago Bears officially trade the number 1 seed to the Carolina Panthers, moving down and grabbing the 9th pick in this year's draft, only dropping down about 8 spots. Rumors of Carter potentially landing there and able to help things out. Nabbing another first-round pick and a second-round pick while also bringing in Edwards and Edmonds to the linebacker core. How are we feeling on the Chicago side of things? Now retooling. They did just lose Montgomery to Detroit. He went over to become a Lion.
Jamal Williams now should slide over to the Chicago Bears.
that would be something. But Chicago, they were the team to look at. Obviously, when they were the number 1 pick, we already knew they had Justin Fields. We were speculating that they were going to trade down before it was even rumored. We were already on this, which is one of the reasons why we were
also on board with the trade down to 9, maybe 11, 2 and 12, and go down for.
How are we feeling? Chicago is setting up this offseason to do kind of what Jacksonville did a few seasons ago, where they just kind of brought in Christian Kirk. Now they brought in Ridley. They just bring in all these defensive pieces. They brought in Brandon Schaefer over there. Also, Jacksonville, what they did kind of looks like the Bears are trying to copy some of the similar format.
It's because of Justin Fields. He proved last year that he can lead a team. Yes, his accuracy needs to be worked on, but he had fantastic games where he didn't miss many. But he also proved he can get it done with his legs. 178 rushing yards in one game, I believe. Thank you. I had him on my fantasy team when he did it. I was so happy, right? he showed he is a dual threat quarterback. He just needs more to throw to. You're bringing in DJ Moore, who has been probably the most underrated wide receiver since he proved that he can be a number one wide receiver.
Yep. That was the piece I was forgetting to add.
Yes. We also threw out the idea of number 9 for just Brian Burns. If that would be able to get it done. So we were on track with them adding a player as well. Just needed more picks done. And DJ Moore, I think I saw that he already has like the most receiving yards in Chicago's history or something like that. I don't know if that is exactly true, how true that is, because I just saw it scrolling. But if that's true, that's kind of crazy and
Agreed.
a bonus when looking at it on paper. You know, he's gonna make Justin Fields' day so much easier.
Yeah.
Get a little bit more offensive line weapons. Their offensive line wasn't the worst. Get another running back to go with Khalil. And their teams, it is pretty similar to the way the Jags are. Young quarterback, defenses being rebuilt, put together. Their O-line's okay. Get weapons for them. Let's see what we actually have and then make our decision on quarterback. Because that whole trade Justin Fields and take Bryce Young or take Stroud or take – that was ridiculous. Yep. Ridiculous. Yep. I don't even remember what I was about to Google. Something about the Bears. Oh, Bears receiving yards.
Well, while you do that, I absolutely love the trade. Of course, we talked about it on and off before it happened. Obviously, when it happened, DJ Moore is an excellent piece to put alongside Claypool and the Mooney. Cole Kmet obviously is hoping to take a leap at some point.
Johnny Morse. He played in 1958 to 1967. He is the Bears' all-time leading receiving yards with 5,059. DJ Moore has like 5,100.
Yeah, he does. That's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Hey.
That's insane.
They just got their franchise wide receiver.
The Bears have always struggled with wide receivers, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Absolutely insane. But on the flip side of things, Carolina jumps up to number 1 and rumors of them potentially moving off and trading down if they potentially like more than one quarterback.
Which the reports are they do like more than one quarterback.
There is
obviously the owner likes Stroud.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Reich likes Young but loves Richardson.
Yep.
If I'm Bryce Young, I don't want to go there. If I hear, oh, you only like me, but you love these two,
these guys, right?
You're not drafting Bryce Young with those comments.
It's gonna be interesting to see. They just brought in Hayden Hurst, the tight end.
Yes, they see that one.
Yes, they signed Hayden Hurst to be their new tight end. It pops up on your face.
it's right there.
Adam. But what are we thinking here? Who would potentially be the number 1 overall pick if Carolina goes ahead and just says, we'll just take our guy now?
I think it's CJ Stroud. I sent you, we can put it here. How I think the first 4 quarterbacks are going to go will be Stroud, Richardson, Young, Levis. I think the Richardson combine, people knew he was going to do good.
Right.
But, when you see it, it's like, oh, shit. I think that is going to entice that team, the second team, the Texans. I think Bryce Young is the best quarterback in this draft, though.
Okay. I hear it. I'm still going with the wow factor. I still think Richardson could go number 1.
Yeah, he definitely could.
I've been telling you since the start of this. I've been comparing him to Trey Lance last season. Someone's gonna fall in love with it, and he's gonna skyrocket. The hype is gonna happen. We saw it as soon as the combine hit. He's doing backflips. Everyone's like, "Oh, his interview,
leading the passes.
Amazing." Yeah. Everyone started to fall in love with him. I think the hype is just going to keep on rolling while we slowly start to get there. I absolutely think Richardson will go number 1. I think Carolina takes the plunge with him, so to speak, and just sees what they got because there's not a lot.
Hope Wright can get as much as possible. Saw him with Carson Wentz with the Eagles. It was good. We saw him with all the vets with the Colts. It was meh.
Well, Carson Wentz again, which is meh.
That I added.
He took Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers got them
with the Eagles. Eagles. I didn't say Carson with the Colts. I said Carson with the Eagles.
He didn't lead him nowhere. Yeah. But
it was rough. It was rough.
I think Carolina goes ahead and makes that move, grabbing him at number 1. And let's keep talking about those top.
I mean, Richardson, his body type is similar to Cam Newton. Look what Cam Newton did for the Panthers, man.
Yep. Hey, let's keep talking about that quarterbacks, because Richardson could very well go to the next team that we're about to discuss. Just a brief stop on our draft board. The number 4th pick in the draft, the Indianapolis Colts finally got rid of the baggage that is Matt Ryan up out of there. They shipped Gilmore off.
What he ever do to you, man?
Hey, help us win a Super Bowl. That trash bag.
True. You should be thanking him. You should be praising him. You should still want him on the Colts.
Terrible.
You should want him on the Jets now.
Yes, I wish. I will. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to that. But yes, Matt Ryan out the building. The Colts also shipped off Gilmore to Dallas. We'll take a brief stop in Dallas shortly, but
we don't need to.
What are your thoughts on what Indianapolis is going to do here at the number 4 seed? We, of course, know they have a very good defense, much like Denver, having a very solid defense over the years. The biggest question mark has been quarterback. Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr. as their young offensive pieces. A very solid offensive line led by Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, when you got that man, he'll bring it together.
What happens here? We obviously heard Jim Irsay earlier on this last month talking about potentially moving up, things of that nature. We saw
kid from Alabama.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And now we hear Carolina's in the shopping business. Whew. Go ahead.
I don't think he has to move from 4 to get Bryce Young. That's unfortunate for Bryce Young, but it's a good spot for him. It's a great spot for him. You got Jonathan Taylor, the O-line solid. The defense is ready to go. Michael Pitt, you need another wide receiver. Maybe get a tight end, another tight end, But why not? They are a ready-to-go-now team, and Bryce Young can come into this league and be like, yo, y'all skipped over me. Look what I'm about to do. And look what y'all allowed me to get to. Y'all could have had me on the Texans. Y'all could have had me on the Panthers, who they're solid teams, but I like what he's working with more with the Colts. The defense is going to allow him to stay off or get back on the field when need be. They probably will have to move up, because if he's still there at 3, a team maybe does try to jump the Colts because they know the Colts are going to take him with the next pick.
Right. Just depends on who's
it's tough
to
say that.
There.
It's tough to say that he won't go to the Texans at 2 as well.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's how it's going to go, Bryce Young probably going to end up going number 1, right? Neither of us said Bryce Young number 1. He goes number 1, which deservingly so if he goes number 1.
We know one of the top 3 are landing here.
Yeah, for sure. And they don't have to move. If they're all right with whichever one, then just stay where you are. Keep your picks, keep your players, keep everything. You don't need to move. If maybe their top 2 guys get taken, maybe they trade back and they're like, well, this is kind of a dud. We maybe like Will Levis more than this quarterback. And they trade back and get a little bit more so they can get Levis at the back end of 10, maybe not 9. Bears ain't trading back up to 9, up to 4.
Probably 12,
who's at
11.
8? Who's at 8? I don't know who's at 8.
Good question. I have no clue who's at 8 right now.
Can't think of who's at 8. But yeah, maybe if their guy isn't there, they also think about trading back.
Right.
But you also got to think they've been through so many veteran quarterbacks. They don't have a quarterback right now that they're willing to go forward with. They have to take one, right? They can't trade. They have to take one.
Much like the Bears are taking a bit of a play from the Jags playbook, the Colts need to take a play out of Phillies.
Okay.
Or the 49ers. Get your young quarterback, get him on a rookie deal, immediately build an absolute behemoth of a contender around him. 49ers damn near had an all-star team. Philly had a damn near all-star team before they just started losing all their pieces. Why? Trey Lance, rookie deal. Jalen Hurts, rookie deal. We kind of saw what they, some teams are trying to do. Jacksonville, they're obviously going to have to fork up a boatload of money. Burrow, they tried to bring in the offensive line for him. they're obviously
Didn't
going to
work
pay
out.
him a boatload of money. Herbert, they decided to keep Mike Williams, bring in Khalil Mack, bring in J.C. Jackson, just build the contender while you have these guys for the cheap. That's just what the Colts have to do.
Yeah, for sure. No more
Absolutely.
veteran quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're done with that. They're done with that. And like I mentioned, from a trip down to Dallas real quick. Dallas obviously nabs Stephon Gilmore, a former defensive player of the year, next to Micah Parsons, a candidate for
Diggs.
defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And on the opposite side, Trayvon Diggs holding down, looking decent in the secondary. But some of the big news, obviously, Zeke is out
Gone.
of Dallas. Tony Pollard becomes running back number 1, and Dallas most likely is looking to draft a running back in
You said
the
draft Bijan?
I maybe. Hey,
Yeah.
it may. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I
Uh,
don't know.
it's kind of scary having Tony Pollard be your number one because he's coming off the ACL, you know?
Yep,
It's going
yep,
to
yep.
take a little while for him to get back. And that running back they had last year, the third string, I could look up his name. He was actually solid. When Tony went down and he stepped in, I was like, yo, their offense is just continuing. Like, this dude is not missing a step. And it got, for me, like the couple games that I saw him play, and the one game where Tony got hurt and he was playing more, every time they put Zeke in, I was like, get him out, put in the third string running back. He's moving the ball, you know? I don't know if this is the end for Zeke. I know there are concerns about his knees and his legs, I guess. But I could see him coming back on a cheaper deal to Dallas because this is probably where he's going to retire.
Oh wow!
And if not, another team wants him, I guess. Go for it. Just don't expect a whole lot of money, Zeke.
No.
Teams are going to be very weary.
Agreed. I don't know where Zeke lands. I'm sure a team will like to look at him that's looking to do running back by committee.
Denver.
Maybe a Denver. If he's looking to take for the cheap,
annoying.
Just stroll your ass up to Kansas City if you really wanted to.
Stop.
Listen,
Nah.
anybody,
Bengals,
any veteran player at this point, if you're willing to play for cheap and you could get on the phone with Kansas City, like, hey, I'll take
I heard
the
the Jets
minimum.
got a chance this year.
You know what I mean? Hey, you never know. Hey, there's all
Zeke,
you never know. You never know.
I expect him back with Dallas, though. Cheaper deal.
I hear
like
it.
2 year, 10 mil, something like that.
Okay. From one running back to another, one freshly put up on the market, seeking a trade. Pound for pound, the Mighty Mouse, Austin Eckler wants out of Los Angeles, officially has sought permission, and it has been granted to find a trade suitor. Where in the world could Austin Eckler land? Because he does want an extension. That is the whole key issue with him not staying with the Chargers. He wants to be paid. Who's willing to pay a running back, but with the skill set of Austin Eckler that can double up as a nice dual threat, kind of like our Christian McCaffreys and our Alvin Kamaras of the world?
Send him to the Bears.
Send him to the Bears.
Like with Justin Fields, they just got DJ Moore. Continue building the O-line like we mentioned earlier. That could be scary. And then you have the options plays of Justin Fields and Eckler. Is he going to hand it off to Eckler? Is it staying with Fields? You know, that could be interesting. And then nice little dump off, little screens to Eckler, wheel routes that, you know, that could be solid. And they got the money. That's if they're willing to pay him.
Right.
He's the franchise tag for running backs like 10, 11 mil. Probably wants like 12, 13.
Yep. Yeah, probably something like that.
That wouldn't be bad. And you have him with Khalil Herbert. Yeah, send him to the Bears. Just keep helping Justin Fields out.
I hear it. But you're missing the team.
I probably am. Don't say Miami.
That is tried to make a splash and most desperately could use a jolt in the backfield.
Well, it's not the Chargers.
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
They were already in the Christian McCaffrey sweepstake.
And Kamara, apparently.
We're going to get to it. Aaron Rodgers now joining the division. Jalen Ramsey will also get there. Joins the division.
Yeah.
You got to make
Juju joins the division. Woo! Woo! Yeah.
You have to make a play. You have to make a move. You can't beat Cincinnati. You can't beat Kansas City. Miami's on the come up. The Jets are on the come up.
So
Who
get a
knows
running
what
back.
Baltimore is
That's
going to look
crazy.
like? Hey, it is the weakest part of that team for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, guard, you could help out that O-line a little bit more.
It has been the weakest part of that team.
Their running back has been weak.
And it is Josh Allen run or die. And how lovely would it be if Josh Allen doesn't have to run the ball 10, 15 times a game?
Imagine the option plays with Josh Allen and Eckler. Who's
and he
taking
can
off?
catch the ball out the back.
Yeah.
He can catch the ball out the backfield, also helping out Diggs, who's saying, I don't know what is wrong with us and why we can't get. I bet you Austin Eckler can give you guys a little bit of a help.
Diggs. You used it all against the Saints with the weak-ass Vikings. Ha!
Oh,
what you deserve.
Yeah, I hear it.
That tackle haunts me every day,
Oh,
bro.
I know.
That tackle was insane.
Yeah. Buffalo absolutely getting on Austin Eckler sweepstakes. Call this could be something for
Naheem Hines, Singletary back to the Chargers, and then a pick.
Whatever. Whatever. You need something to keep up now.
Okay.
Because everyone is making moves.
A little scary. I heard it's probably a month ago now that there was potential moves and then moving on from Ed Oliver.
Yeah.
Would you maybe tease Ed Oliver for Austin Eckler so you add to the defensive line of the Chargers? You have Ed Oliver and Joey Bosa. And Eric Kendricks they just signed. Their defensive backs are good. No,
absolutely not. I don't help them at all.
If you're trying to get Eckler, you're gonna have to give something.
Yeah, but hey, fuck it, whatever.
A third pick, whatever. They want Ed Oliver.
They also kept Poyer is coming back to keep the Bills secondary.
Solid.
Yeah, keep them solid alongside Micah Hyde. That should be good. And then, of course, from secondary to secondary, as previously mentioned, Jalen Ramsey gets shipped for a tight end and a third-round pick to Miami. And Miami also landed about an hour or two ago to Sean Elliott from the Lions, former Baltimore Raven also. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Former Baltimore Raven. So more added pieces to the secondary that already has Xavier Howard and Javon Holland. And another offseason, another splash play for Miami, which is another team with their guy on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
Trying.
Keep that man upright, please. Keep him upright, please. The reason he went so cheap, we'll go there. The reason Ramsey was so cheap is because he wants that new contract.
Yep.
He's going to want at least 21 plus. Every team probably looked at that and was like, yeah, you're great, guy. We don't know if we want to pay that. We know we don't want to pay that. And the Dolphins were like, yeah, we don't care. Well, we'll give you 25 mil. That's what you want? Yeah, we'll give you 25.
Right.
Yeah, probably not going to give him 25, but
no.
If he gets 25,
I mean, hey, maybe,
nice.
If they make a couple plays,
D tackles are getting 22.
Listen, all types of shit.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsey with the Dolphins, also apparently the team he wanted to go to. He's back in Florida. He played at FSU. He played with Jacksonville Jaguars.
I tried to send him to Duval. I tried to send him back.
But it's okay. It's okay. He'll look better in the white and green, teal, and orange. It'll be all right. Jags ain't need him. It's okay. Shout out the Dolphins. 9-8. Here they come.
9-8. Here they come. And of course, more news from my division. It's not a matter of if. Now it's just a matter of when. Yes. Aaron Rodgers joins the New York Jets to go along with a absolute insane young nuclear core of Quinnen Williams.
Yep. His brother.
Garrett Wilson. Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall.
Yeah. Elijah.
What?
Elijah Moore staying?
Well, maybe, yes, there's definitely a change, obviously. And then, of course, making Rodgers happy. He said today that there was no list.
Yeah.
He said there was no list of requirements or free agents that he would like, but it just so happens
sure.
Lazar, his guy gets there and gets paid.
Yeah. 4 for 44 is not bad for Lazard.
No, he low key got paid. He wasn't gonna get that elsewhere. He low key got
might
paid.
have though. I do think he might have got that from another team.
Maybe.
I really do.
What's going on, Nips? We are good. We are back, hopefully, to our regular scheduled programming.
Trying to see what that picture is.
I don't know. I've never bothered to.
I thought it was like an eagle holding a baby up, but I don't think so.
Let us know what the picture is, Nips.
The
Bates moves on.
Are they taking an L though? I mean, yes, they did lose their safeties. They have, I believe, like $33 million in cap. They know they're gonna have to pay multiple people coming up, so they're just saving their money. They're gonna draft.
Yeah. They're
gonna draft well. They're gonna get their safety in the first round, second round. Get another lineman in the first round or second round, whichever ones are there. Whichever ones are at the top of their board. They'll get their pieces. Their offseason is not free agency right now because of all of the contract extensions that are coming up.
Yeah, they got to get ready to pay their boys. It's going to be tough. But yes.
The Bayou boys, okay? Yeah.
The Jets. The Jets now emerging. The real question is this going to be a serious threat?
Yes.
Or is this
Russell Wilson and Denver?
Gonna be Denver all over again?
I don't.
Hey, listen, really none of us thought this was gonna happen with Denver.
So
we were like, "Yo, there might be 4 playoff teams. Like, this is gonna be crazy." Now, like, this division is looking very similar from what the AFC West was last year. Now, big veteran quarterback joins the up-and-coming quarterback from Patrick Mahomes. It's Josh Allen. The rebuilding team, kind of the middle of the pack offensive team.
Right.
Raiders to the Patriots. I hate to make that comparison, but it really actually fits.
It does because of
dog water.
Yeah.
We're just dog water. And then Miami. And then Miami, the ascending team, and then obviously the Chargers on the other side, and then the Jets and Denver, the teams that have it all made. They're one quarterback away. They're a piece away. Now they both.
Yeah.
It's literally last season all over again.
I'll give you that. I didn't even think about that comparison because all the comparisons that I've been thinking about the Jets and the Packers is, Von Bell. I was sad when he left the Saints too. I know that.
The only reason I know Clout is because he's in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Never really played Final Fantasy.
I only know him because he's in Smash Bros.
But, didn't take that into account. The Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, though. Yeah. The similarities between these two, and then who they're being replaced by. The picks 24 and 26, 2 picks apart. So close, dude. But in the age, in the touchdown to interception ratio,
Jordan Love is it?
Yeah, he might be.
Is Jordan Love the next Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers?
Dude, history.
They're winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
Maybe. And maybe Jordan Love didn't look bad in that last game that he played when Rodgers went down. You never know. I'm just saying what it looks like. It looks like history's repeating itself, right? But we have grown since that Russell Wilson. Yes, we've started to understand to look at more, right? When Russell Wilson was traded there, we didn't take into the account it was the first year head coach. This man was going to come in. He had to implement his system. He had to do this and that. And he was calling the plays. He had a lot on his plate. It didn't work out. Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator for Aaron Rodgers 2 years ago. They are just going back together. Robert Saleh, I believe I said his name right.
You did.
He ain't going to deal with no bullshit.
Well, he's a defensive-minded coach anyway.
He ain't dealing with shit. You coming in, you were coming to play. Rodgers he is focused. Watching Pat Show and them talking about it, they bring up the point of this man is a 4-time MVP. Who better to deal with the media than that? Because he can already be like, hey, don't talk to me. I'm a 4-time MVP. If he wanted to.
Well, that's got him into some trouble. So got him into some trouble.
But he's won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
He is the veteran who can take a young team and mold them. Maybe this is the best thing for Zach Wilson. He has Aaron Rodgers to sit behind now, and maybe he learns a little bit. Like, yeah, I can be about myself because that's how people perceive Aaron Rodgers, right? And I think that's how people perceive Zach Wilson. They're about themselves. But I can also be a team player and win games and not be the distraction that I am perceived as for some, And I like Aaron with that team, man. He's going to fit well with them. He's a safe quarterback.
I hope they're terrible.
I hear it. It's because
obviously they're in my division, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Nervous. I'm nervous.
You should.
But it really does look like the AFC East West all over again, just flipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. To be honest,
the teams literally line up like perfectly, and then the
bottom
feeder
were drafted one after the other.
I'm
right?
telling, and then they bring in all these pieces. They do all these
and then
pieces
you got
to build the teams
and
up.
Jimmy G and Jacoby and
it's
that's
just
funny as hell.
Hey, now that you mention it, let's get to it.
South,
let's ship on over to Las Vegas. The Raiders bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. They also bring in Jacoby Myers while shipping out Darren Waller to the Jets. I mean, to the Giants. Giants.
After
he goes to the Giants. Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley get a new weapon added to their offense.
They're going to get D-Hop too.
Let's not go there.
Apparently, he's going to the Cowboys, if you ask Micah Parsons.
If you ask anybody, he's going to the Cowboys. But the Raiders, Jimmy G is now the quarterback. We had already discussed you nabbing Derek Carr. Yeah. And now Jimmy G set to replace. They're going to have Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, a freshly signed Jacoby Myers. Still a piss-poor defense.
They also no respect on Foster Moreau's name at that tight end spot. Like, what are people? The projected lineup was Jimmy G, Jacobs, Jacobs, Devontae, Renfrow, and then Jasper something. I was like, where the hell is Foster Moreau at? That is my biggest gripe about the Raiders offseason. Why are they not projecting this man, Foster Moreau, to be the starting tight end for the Raiders? What are people doing?
I can't tell you, man. I can't tell you, bro.
The LSU Tigers just take over. Like, y'all just got to get behind them. Damn, man.
These Raiders are gonna Raider.
Yeah.
But did it do anything?
No.
To get them out of 3-4?
No.
Does the game manager, Jimmy G, and all these pieces does nothing for them?
They'll probably win the same amount of games with him as they did with Carr.
Was that 8? Was it 8?
They'll get 8 or 9.
7? I can't remember.
Jimmy G is a solid quarterback. And he has weapons. The defense it's pretty butt. Their O-line is pretty butt. They got the weapons, and they have a quarterback who is solid.
Yep.
They just don't have a whole team. And Josh McDaniels, he's been a little iffy as a head coach throughout his years. So, I can't give them Sean Payton going to the Broncos. I hate it, but it's going to help them. Chiefs are still the Chiefs.
Yes.
Chargers, we expect them to be better because they made some moves
we
hope that they're better. So, they'll be competing with the Chargers probably for that 3-4 spot. And that is insane. Denver maybe gets that second. So, they're not taking one. Simple as that. They're not taking one.
Agreed.
My realistic is their fourth.
Hey, me too. I absolutely agree. I don't think it makes much of a difference. They're probably going to beat some teams they shouldn't beat. And then, of course, that's going to spark something. And obviously, everyone's going to get all worked up about Jimmy G being.
One more year.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. But on the flip side of
things, you got to go at least one more year. They gave him a 3-year, $67 million deal.
They don't got a choice. They're stuck with him. On the flip side of things, Darren Waller joining Daniel Jones and the Giants as they're trying to get pieces. It was basically Saquon Barkley or bust last year on offense. Daniel Jones
He did what he could.
15, only 15
Got paid
passing
for it.
touchdowns. Yeah, only 15 passing touchdowns in a 17 game season. Not very pretty.
Nah.
But they got him a serious target. It's going to be a question, kind of like Nip said down in the comments. He only plays 5 games a year. How healthy and how much are you going to get out of Darren Waller? We know when healthy, he's easily top 5 tight end in the NFL when he's healthy.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. He's an absolute beast. But I still think they're going to need some wide receiver help. Can DeAndre Hopkins head on over there? I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
Maybe, but then you kind of run
Poor
into
Eagles, man.
then you kind of run into the issue of health wise, the concern on who's going to be healthy and who's going to stay healthy on that offensive on the offensive side of the football. Barkley obviously had concerns early on.
Their wide receivers were depleted all hell.
Their wide receivers literally Shepard tore his fucking ACL out of place running up the field.
They re-signed him. I saw that.
Yes, they kept him. There is
Wandale.
Who else is there?
Wandale
nice. Moore is still there.
Nice
Darius Slayton is still there. So they have some pieces. They got some guys to throw the ball now too. Now he got
that true number 1 threat on the outside.
I mean, maybe
you got Darren in the middle who is going to take eyes. So,
maybe Mark Andrews before Debo got there, Kittle, Kelsey. You know what I mean? He could be the number 1. He can be there. His number 1 safety blanket.
That's asking a lot. But, the health is that issue.
The health is absolutely going to be a concern. And then, of course, your division, all the movement in the world keeps on cooking, but you're in trouble. You know why?
Because the teams in my division keeps taking all of our players.
Because Baker Mayfield is now
a
Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Feelings on this, similar to Jimmy G, to be honest. How do you think in a much, much, much weaker division, no offense to the Saints,
much better team.
Yeah, yes, agreed.
They have more pieces on the O-line. Mike Evans, Godwin,
still Godwin.
Room.
They
defense,
just brought in
they need secondaries. They re-signed Jamel Dean, but they got Devin White.
Yep.
Devin White's a monster.
They just brought back who
Anthony
David.
Nelson.
Levante David just came back on a 1 year.
Oh, see, I was about to say I don't know if he's resigning, but that's great.
He resigned earlier.
Keep their linebackers.
Yes.
They obviously need to address their secondary.
Yes.
Their D-line is fine because you got Vita Vea. It literally is the entire line.
Literally.
This is honestly probably a better team. They need a running back. I will give that. We'll give that. But this team can compete with that team that he took the Browns to the playoffs.
Yes.
It's a solid team. Baker
I can agree.
Yeah, if he can just get it together, and he's played in this division. He was with the Panthers last year.
Yep.
So he's played in a couple of these teams. But it's really, can Baker just get it all together?
Right.
And can they provide the running backs the secondary? And that's obviously a big boost. Baker,
he'd probably
get him to the 3 seed.
At least as of draft night. As of draft night, I would say he's the second best quarterback in the division after Carr. He's better than Ritter and he's better than Heineke in Atlanta.
And you'll give him the boost over the rookie because it's a rookie.
Just because it's a rookie. That's the only reason why I would put him over. Only reason why I would put him over CJ or whoever obviously lands in Carolina, just because he's a rookie. In Carolina, and then I would put Carr.
I mean, he can sling it. You're throwing to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. If he can get his accuracy down, he'll be fine. The team will be fine. He's still young enough to where they can extend him if he's good. Trask, we don't know what he is. Maybe he's actually it. Maybe you never know, dude.
You never know. Much like this is going to be the division, maybe kind of like the NFC East was. Sort of, we don't know who's going to come out of it. Obviously, you're
And then
rooting
it's a
for your
dogfight.
Saints, but yeah, we might just get kind of like a few years ago, the 7-9 fucking Washington Commanders
Let's not get that
coming
again.
in and
Let's not
winning
get that again.
and hosting a play. Hey, you never know what the hell's gonna
Let's
happen.
not do that
This
again.
division is shaping up that way, depending on what you guys do, because you guys take money that you
We
guys
got
don't
Mike
have
Evans back.
and manifest it.
We got a first pick for Sean Payton.
Yeah,
We conjured Derek Carr.
this is
Our
your
O-line
division
is
to
okay.
lose. Probably it's low key your division to lose.
Probably, most likely, yeah, most likely.
Yeah,
we have the veteran quarterback who everyone believes should be able to get it done. We need another running back. A lot of people have us getting Jahmyr Gibbs from Bama in the second round. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
To anybody who mocks a tight end in the first round to the Saints, though, you're on my shit list immediately. Yeah. I don't want a tight end in the first round. Are you kidding me?
I'm dead.
Next year. If it's next year's class, I'll take Brockers. I'll take Beck. But no.
True.
I don't know the tight end like that this year. I'll take one in the second. That's fine.
Let's
who is someone to address our D line.
Daryl something? Is that the
Darnell?
Darnell, yeah. He's
that's who
falling in love with his
that's who I think Kuiper mocked to us. And like I saw his combine video of him pushing the sled.
Yep.
And then they showed all the other tight ends doing it. The dude's a monster.
Beast, big boy.
Dude's a monster. Yeah.
Big kid, 6'7".
Yeah.
Animal.
But we do not have any success drafting a tight end outside of Jimmy Graham.
Hey, we don't have any success drafting wide receivers, so I feel your pain.
I don't feel your pain on that one because we draft wide receivers like a motherfucker, and they're pretty good, bro.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they end up pretty good. Our tight ends.
That is. Nah. That's going to do it for us. Of course, we're still waiting for the news on Adam Thielen, Darius Slay, Leonard
Apparently
Floyd.
met with the Panthers. Thielen did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Bobby Wagner. There's so many other pieces out there.
Apparently.
More pieces are going to be released, as we saw Slay obviously just got released today. Eckler, we're waiting for his trade. Obviously, we heard Denver was shopping one of their 3 young wide receivers. Like, there's still so much. It is literally technically day 1 of free agency, despite the tampering period. Of course, we're going to have the draft going down. Last season, we saw AJ Brown shifting teams. Anything can happen, literally anything. And of course, we're on fucking Tom Brady watch in case he decides to come back.
Stop that right. That man already said they have a cat. They're good.
Yes, but anyways, make sure you tune in next week. We figure out some more of what the hell's going on in this NFL offseason. We jump into some more NBA playoff picture as it breaks down. And of course, be here Friday. We're going to talk some WWE and some AEW. Road to WrestleMania for WWE. And then, of course, I believe
2 weeks.
Yes, we're about 2 weeks away. And then, of course, AEW, nothing big happening until Double or Nothing in May.
28th, I believe.
Yes, but we still got a lot going on. We've talked about ROH coming back, speculation on what might be happening there. We have some amazing stuff going down tonight. MJF Rebar Mitzvah. 7-star FTR is back. House of Black are our trios champions defending tonight.
Of the Rebar Mitzvah.
Yeah.
I think they changed it to where it's just him, but that graphic, they had before was hilarious, dude.
They had to.
Yeah.
AEW is cooking up, of course. Stand and Deliver. Obviously, NXT was last night. We have Stand and Deliver to also look forward to in the next coming weeks. Women's ladder match for the NXT Women's Champion, Wes Lee. Fatal 5-way, basically open challenge because he's just going to pick his opponents.
Okay, let's save it for Friday. We will be there.
Let the good folks know what to do.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. Nobody's on. Have a great day.
Peace.